in the upper right, folks, in the red. Maybe struggling to end the games against Max Packs, but looking dominant in that series. It's herO. His opponent in the bottom left in the blue. He hasn't dropped a map to get here. It's ByuN. I love that I'm still being bullied by you all. I'm a well-hydrated individual. It's funny. I was in Rainer's Discord server, which is, by the way, absolutely worth subscribing to Rainer's Twitch just to be part of his Discord server. And someone was talking about how, you know, if you don't have 3 individual drinks on your desk at any given time, like, what are you even doing? And you know, sometimes I got tea, but why? Water's all you need. We are, of course, hydro homies in this chat. Well, I'm sorry, PGV in house. Maybe if you didn't spend all your channel points on telling me to drink sips of water, maybe you would have redeemed a poem. But for now, guess it's not happening. But here we are. This is game 1 of our PVT finals. We saw herO played a pretty solid series against Clem. He 3-0'd him. And every single time, I mean, we saw herO go for all manner of aggressive options. He went for 2.5 base Colossus timings, other things. He looked strong, and it really looked like Clem was not quite able to handle it. On the other side, Cure played ByuN, and ByuN got bopped by a bunch of aggressive Terran openers. These 6-minute stim timings, he just did not seem to have the builds in his brain or just be able to react properly to what Cure was doing. It was 3-0. It was arguably less close than ByuN versus Cure. Like, it was straight up boppage. Now, of course, ByuN has not had to play a TVP in this tournament. He 3-0'd Rainer, then he 3-0'd Cure. The point being, though, is it seems like I don't think, at least in this tournament, we have a good understanding of what the map pool and what the balance changes have to say about how this matchup works. I mean, PJV in the house, you don't have to write a poem. You just have to drop a link to a poem. Like, if you want to redeem me reading a poem, there has to be a poem for me to read. Like, that's the point. We don't have to actually sit there and, you know, talk about, you know, I don't know, once upon a night, dark and dreary, I sat alone, meek and weary. Meek and weary. Ugh. So cool with the Raven. Nevermore. That being said, though, here comes ByuN. 2 Reapers Hellion on the other side of the map. There's a single Adept here, and that Adept does not win that fight. So ByuN gets on top of the mineral line, knocks down a couple probes. 2 are going to fall. It seems like he's just going to all in on worker damage. He's going to get 4 workers, and it may even be more than that one. Adept. Oh, no, they dodge. ByuN gets in the main base. He's not going to kill anything, but it's a full scout now. He sees the Phoenix. He sees everything that he could possibly want to see, and there's actually no way to get out. His steps are being properly dogged, but ByuN gets 5 probes. He gets the full scout in the main base because herO tried to be greedy. He tried to make sure he got both Reapers at the same time, so he got 1 Reaper low and then the other one, and it didn't quite work. I would not read it during the games, PJB in the house, because we're casting. Probably read it after the best of 7. Poem, Ollie, I don't know that the poem has to be in English, but I will not pronounce it properly if it's not in English. And if it's on another alphabet, forget about it. Maybe I can do Greek, but I can't read it quickly enough. How's the Widowmine? Hey, I mean, Widowmine gets a good shot. So that's nice. But here comes herO on the other side of the map now. He's looking for some version of counter pressure, some way to justify the damage that he has taken. But there's a bunker here, folks. I don't know that he's going to be able to really, and some extra Marines. I don't know that he's really going to be able to accomplish all that much. As the Adepts to run in, but again, it's not really available. Not much damage is available. Again, as you're talking about that, if you listen to Caster Calls, which is a great podcast, Lyrical comes on, who is a Dota 2 play-by-play caster, and he talks about how for hype moments, he's tried to teach himself to like speak in the Anapeshtic, which is this da da da, right? And he wins. Like it adds a little bit. It's not even necessarily a rhyming scheme, but a meter scheme that allows him to make moments a little bit more epic. But we do have to talk about this game as much as Twitch chat's doing a damn good job of distracting me this evening. How dare you all? We do need to talk about this game just a little bit because ByuN is moving into kind of your standard 3-1-1 setup here. Stim combat shields, they're going to be done 6:37 minutes, not quite that 7:30 timing. But the one thing I want to point out is this Raven, ByuN has been hiding it. Every time the Adepts chafe forward, ByuN pulls the Raven back. He doesn't want herO to know exactly what he's going for, but herO seems to have a decent understanding of what's happening anyways. He is going Phoenix Colossus, of course, but I think he was getting that Immortal early on. He's building all this stuff. The big deal, though, is he's on 5 Phoenix. Yes, one of them has taken heavy, well, actually, I think one of them died. They have taken a Widowmine shot or two, but he continues to build Phoenix, which means that getting a Raven onto the other side of the map is kind of problematic. And now herO absolutely knows that there is a Raven on the other side of the map because, well, the Widowmine targeted his observer, and we saw him kind of run away from that. So now herO knows what's happening, and he's going to try to just dive on top of this Raven, get it down immediately. 1 shot, 2 shot. No, he targets the Viking too. Doesn't lose any Phoenix, and that's nice, but he doesn't get the Raven. And that's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, Dark. Lyrical's a great dude. I've talked to him on Twitter a couple times. I'm like, hey, you mind taking a look at my stuff? And he's like, hey, yeah, sure. But ByuN is pulling a couple SCVs with this, at least to keep the Raven alive, which means that burst damage that herO committed to, that he lost health, he lost damage on his Phoenix. In fact, I think okay, never mind. He only lost the one. He pulled the other one back. He's not necessarily going to be able to snipe the Raven anymore. He's still trying, but the army here, especially now that Stim is done, is not going to allow that to happen. So Cyclone gets more lock-on damage. 1 Colossus is out, but the Raven is going to get targeted down even still, and the Phoenix stay alive. Anti-armor missile, though, dragged on top of the army here, and ByuN moves forward. But with shield battery overcharge, it's not going to matter. And remember, folks, anti-armor missile, it lasts as long as it used to, but it is only -2 armor, not -3. It doesn't kill things it doesn't do as much damage, or as much, it doesn't allow as much damage as it did previously. So the Raven falls, Colossus stay alive, herO hangs on, and this pressure from ByuN does not get the damage it's looking for. That was excellently timed from herO. I'm talking about how I don't think the Raven is going to go down. Feels like ByuN is shepherded across, and then slightly out of position. herO dives on top of it. ByuN's not ready. He doesn't even, he loses a couple more Phoenix, I think, in the fight, but who cares? And I was focusing on the fight enough. Look at this +1 air attack on the way. Double Phoenix, double Stargate on the way. herO really leaning into this idea of Phoenix Colossus. I'm a little worried, though. ByuN already has his Ghost Academy on the way, and Ghosts, especially with the newly changed, buffed in this time scale, nerfed, of course, in the late game, but still, for the purposes of dealing with Phoenix, buffed right now, the Ghosts have been buffed, right? So going into double Phoenix here, I don't know how I feel about it. The Phoenix will still be powerful anti-air components with that +1. They'll be able to knock down Vikings and knock down medevacs and things like that. But if the Ghosts get their EMPs off, the Phoenix just don't lift anything. And that is rather awkward as the Phoenix now try to dive in, get a little bit of worker damage, which is how you want to play it, right? You don't want the Phoenix to go and get super aggressive early on, as now here's aware of the Widowmine. You want them to conserve as much energy as possible, so when the inevitable Terran moves out, sometime between probably 6 and 8 minutes, you're going to have all your Phoenix. You're going to have the lifts. You're going to be able to handle whatever the Terran tries to throw at you. But now that ByuN is going to have to stay at home just a little bit. Yes, he got his third base faster than a true 3-1-1, his 7:30 timing, but his production's a little slower. You know, he does have to stay at home. And that allows herO to go take forward bases, to start to get anti and pulse crystals. So this will truly be just for the anti-air to fight the Vikings. And actually, that's a pretty cool idea, right? So Vikings have been, their damage point has been buffed by about, it's been cut by 2/3, something like that. So Vikings in fighter mode, so in the air, are going to be much more microable than they previously were, much better at dealing with Colossus. So what do? You just build a lot of Phoenix, and the Phoenix fight the Vikings, then they don't fight the Colossus, and that means the Colossus can still do rather well against a significantly buffed Viking player. So that's kind of fun. As now the big pressure on the 4th base. EMP is not really hitting the army just yet, but I think they got the shield batteries, and that is going to force... Oh, that's a kill, not even a cancel. The Phoenix dive forward. They get EMP'd, and now they don't have lifts, and they don't have a lot of shields either, so they will struggle to take this fight. But the Vikings are starting to take some damage. It's only +1. Ground attack done here for herO. He doesn't even have +2 on the way. Yeah, but that is my biggest complaint. One of my biggest complaints with StarCraft. Every race has a strict color for their level 1 upgrades. Zerg is green, purple, red. Terran is green, blue, red. And Protoss is like, yeah, no, we're not going to follow any convention, really. We're going to go all over the place. Like, come on, guys. It's not that bad. Please. ByuN here maxed out, trying to deny the 4th base once again. And instead, he's going to drop it against Mass Phoenix +1. He's going to drop in the main base, and he's going to get away with it, too. So quad drop in the main base. Phoenix not where they need to be. And now, herO, herO, come on over. But the bio's already in the mineral lines. This is going to be a lot of dead probes. A bunch of stuff's going to get lifted, but I think there are ghosts here. Yeah, there's one. So the EMPs blanket this, and the mass lift is not really going to help. A couple Phoenix still go down. The medevacs, of course, will go down, and ByuN cannot escape from this, but he gets a good scout. He kills 19 probes. He sees that, yes, there are carriers on the way, and he's got an army on the 4th base. So he's going to kill the 4th base once again, or at the very least denied if herO does not cancel it. So ByuN's going to get the 4th base. He got 20 workers dead in the main. He delayed carriers coming out, and this is almost a death knell bit of movement coming out of ByuN here. And he's got his 4th base as well, so he's up on bases. He's up on workers significantly. His army is better, and, I mean, at this point, hero's got to find some way to come back into this game. Yes, Colossus are great. Sure. Carriers are fantastic. But at this point, I worry that the supply... I mean, yes, actually, herO has a better army supply. But I worry about the intangibles of this are going to make it a little bit too hard. EMPs blanket the army. Disruptors will not land. Hey, thank you for the nerf. And now here comes ByuN moving forward. Shield battery overcharge has been popped. Some Phoenix are going down. And Impulse Crystals is nice. It does mean that some Phoenix will fall. But I don't know that hero's going to be able to max out again easily. ByuN, I think we're going to see him just continue to trade harder and harder and harder with this army that he has. He scans for an observer, picks up loads a bunch of stuff. I think that's a lot of ghosts in that medevac count, actually. Loads up 4 medevacs, tries to dive in the main, but there are Phoenix there. herO says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. But it seems like herO is the one that should be shamed because he had his Phoenix right where they needed to be, and now they're not there. So quad drop in the main base once again. What is ByuN gonna find this time? He's getting a lot of stuff in the main base, and he's going to dive on top of the 3rd. Disruptors from behind. ByuN just stims on top of him. He gets 1, gets 2, gets 3, gets every single damn one. And at this point, what's going to stop him from getting on top of the Colossus? Really not a lot, although the Colossus did get some good damage when that happened. So the Disruptors fall. ByuN pulls the trigger, and he does have to run away, but he gets everything he wanted because in the main base, the Nexus is dead. Again, we're starting to see the Cyborg gets depowered. It's not building at +2 anymore. No carriers more on the way. One Stargate's been killed. Another one is depowered. And yeah, there we go. +2 air attack denied as well here. herO is kind of dead. ByuN stims onto the 3rd base as well, but he's going to run away from Colossus for the moment. And he's actually only has Marauders left, so the carriers will eventually clean this up. But it's a 2-base Protoss against a 5-base Terran, and herO is forced to tap out here. ByuN takes game 1, and what dominance. Like, truly what dominance from ByuN in that game. In the upper left, folks, in the red, he's down a game of the series, torn apart by ByuN's relentless counterattacking. It is herO. His opponent in the bottom right, in the blue, looking stupid good. He hasn't dropped a single map thus far in this entire tournament. It's ByuN. Guido Incognito, thank you so much for the follow. Your name rhymes. I appreciate it. Why do I say that, man? I love Neo Humanity. I think it is the most promising map in the new pool for fun games? Let's talk about it. First of all, you have this kind of awkward forward base. It's got rich gas, which incentivizes Zergs to take it. I think we will see some proxy hatches here in the style of what Bly occasionally used to do. On top of that, you can put a tank here and actually adequately defends a base that feels otherwise kind of hard for the Terran to hold. So it forces a lot of interaction in the middle of the map. And then you have these rocks that can get taken down. Okay. All the maps are the new maps. They're not in the ladder pool just yet, but these are the maps that Katowice is going to get played on. So you have, it's a slow zone through the middle. It takes a while to run across. But then you have these cooling towers, and they're all linked together. So if you knock them down, the cooling towers go down like this on either side of this low zone, and they trap things in the middle. So someone's gonna do this in Katowice. Someone is gonna trap their opponent's army between the rocks and annihilate it all. People are going to go absolutely crazy, and I'm here for it. I want that to happen. So I want to cast that game. I'm obviously not going to be on the mainstream. I don't have LAN experience yet, but hopefully, if I get the V stream, hopefully we're gonna get one of those games. And I'm going to assume it's gonna be Steadfast and I can't speak for Steadfast just yet. Don't really know what's happening, but I would hope we just get to go absolutely ape over something like that. As herO already expanding through the wall to try to take a more favorable third base, so mining out the gold minerals. And you know what? It's kind of funny if you think about it. The gold mineral patch here, right? You get 14 minerals every time through. It makes it a little bit more worth it to go try to long distance mine through that and unlock the spot. Normally, if it's a regular mineral patch, you're like, well, I don't know that it's worth it because I mine so much less. But I guess if you think about it, a gold mineral patch, long distance mine, is maybe approximating how much you would get off of a regular mineral, so kind of okay. So anyway, lots of cool nuances on this map, and I am very excited for it. As herO needs to complete mining that out. I can't imagine that he just decided to mine out one of the patches and halfway mine out the other. Yeah. Well, maybe that may be the play, just saving himself some time later on when he looks to expand to the third. Or I don't know. I feel like you just kind of want to unlock that position as well. Okay, no, that's what it is. There we go. It's because ByuN opens Reaper Hellion a lot, so you want to have that wall available. You don't want ByuN to be able to run around and just run through your wall anyways. So he's just kind of leaving the wall closed for now, but when he wants to go take his third base, he's going to mine that last set of minerals and use the probe that mines that last set of minerals to go take his third. And that's actually a really smart, that's a subtle play. You will not see many Protoss players doing that at the start, I don't think. ByuN is just a really smart player. So now the question is, where in the world does ByuN opt to go? Right now, we haven't seen a lot. It is 1-1-1 opener. He's got tanks on the way. He's got ravens on the way. I'm almost wondering whether he's going to go for some sort of Hero Marine-esque build. The whole, you get 1-1-1, you run across the map with it. There's your second barracks. Okay. herO, though, his blink is done. He's getting a warp prism. He's sitting here on 4 gates. It's 4-gate blink coming out of herO in game number 2 of our series, and ByuN does not have a lot of production. He only has 1 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport. He does have a tank. Second one, well, now he has a tank. Second one is on the way eventually, and there's going to be a raven, but getting ravens, getting things that are not tanks, that are not marines, makes this defense pretty hard to hold. ByuN did get some sniff of this. I don't know whether it was the stalkers on the map or quite what he saw, but he is aware in some way about what herO is doing. So he's setting up that second bunker. He's trying to hold on as the Widowmine drop goes on the other side. But I think we're just going to see herO go and try to blink through the front. But oh, that's so smart. He changed the adepts in. The tank eats the shot. So too do the marines. And ByuN immediately goes in. He kills the tanks. But on the other side of the map, the Widowmine drop drops right as herO goes into the main, into the natural. So smart plays from both sides. Both players take decent amounts of damage that make it hard for them to hold on later on. But 3 more Stalkers, a Zealot, they warp in. There's only 1 tank here on the high ground. The Zealot moves forward to try to tank the tank shots. Stalkers get on top of everything once again. And yes, ByuN got off. Economic damage done. But I'm not sure how much it matters because there's not really much of anything to fight these Stalkers here. It's Marines, 9, 10 SCVs are hitting the deck. No tanks anymore. The Raven has fallen, and more SCVs they have to get pulled. So herO will be forced to blink out. But he has so much damage potential right now that once Blink is on cooldown, off cooldown, he's going to go up on the high ground once again, warping in more Stalkers, and there's only 1 tank. The tank has range to that, surprisingly enough. Okay, Warp Prism is going to just dive on top of the tank, soaks the shots from the Marines, and again, the tank falls. But this time, the Marines were, or the Stalkers were so damn low that ByuN actually gets a lot of them. But with the Warp Prism here, it's effectively 2 rounds of Blink. And herO is, I don't know that he's won the game just yet. I mean, he continues to warp in, continues to get damage, but at the very least, he's justified his damage because he took a lot of damage for that Widow Mine drop, and that did make a significant difference here. He just took 12 more probes on the other side from the Widow Mine drop from ByuN, so now herO has to win the game right now, and he may be able to do so, but the micro of ByuN picking up and dodging Stalker shots with the Marauders. It's only 7 Stalkers that remain, only 4 now here, and ByuN's economy, again, it's doing better. The Widow Mines, they're not being dealt with in the slightest. SCVs again have to get pulled here. Marines try to get on top of the Warp Prism, but they're not able to get the damage done. Stalkers continue to fall, though. It's Zealots versus a couple Marines, a couple SCVs, and several Marauders here. It's all about the healing, though. 40 SCVs have hit the deck, and this game is going down right to the wire. No one has any money anymore. No one's really mining. ByuN relying on those mules, and he has no SCVs to pull. So 4 more Stalkers warp in, and it feel like that may actually just do it. We don't have stim, though. And ByuN's going to get ready for round 3 of his Widow Mine drop, but I'm not sure how much it's going to matter anymore. Medevacs are now starting to fall. The micro ability of ByuN, it's not there as much. He doesn't have Medevacs. He's got stim, but he doesn't want to stim. Widow Mine drop. This time, though, herO's going to make the pull happen. So ByuN unburrows. He reburrows. Oh, wait, the clump? Retarget? No. Okay. He gets 2 more workers. And at this point, ByuN needed another massive shot. He needed to kill 10 more to have a shot in this game. It feels like herO has started to pull his way forward. SCVs are going to get pulled once again, but ByuN's on 24. I feel like the economic damage that herO has gotten at this point is just a little bit too much. But who knows? I mean, a tank is out. ByuN's army supply is superior. But I mean, look at what he's having to do right now. In fact, herO just recalled a bunch of his Stalkers to deal with the prospective Widow Mine. And, oh, it's in range. ByuN not paying attention, so he loses the 1 bit of damage potential he had on the other side of the map. And herO is slowing down. We're transitioning here. He's going to put 4 Stalkers in the Warp Prism, of course, and continue to deny, in a tremendous fashion, the amount of economy that ByuN has for himself. Stalker, you know, maybe not the best target fire there. I don't think any workers died, and they really should have. But he's going to unload to the natural, and that's going to be like 1 dead SCV or something. Any worker damage at this point, though, is kind of killer for ByuN. He's sitting here and actually doing a great job of rebuilding his worker count, but it's still not great. And over the last several minutes, herO has started to really start to pull ahead economically. 39 workers to 30, building more probes, chronoing them out when he can. But the question now is whether herO tries to kill ByuN here, whether he tries to break him, or whether he says, you know what, I got enough. I can take a 3rd base. I can go and expand, and maybe he's going to do both because there is that 3rd base on the way. Tons of Stalkers outside. 4 more Stalkers in the Warp Prism. That needs to find its way to probably join the army at the front. But this bunker and this tank is not going to be enough to defend this natural. So herO distracting ByuN once again on the high ground. He loses a Stalker for it, but I'm going to assume, and our observer thinks so too, that herO's going to try to dive on top, but he's not. Oh, he does there. Okay, so there we go. Now the bunker's going to fall. The tank has fallen as well. 1 Stalker, I think, died, but that's A-okay. Now we're looking at 1 tank on the field, 3 Marauders. Really, Marines are, I guess they are a threat, but the true threats, the things that make Stalkers shiver in their beds at night, it's 1 tank, it's a couple Marauders. It's really not all that much. And now charges on the way. Now herO getting into additional gateways. The next round of tech. And ByuN's gonna really need a miracle from this point on to make the game happen. But you know, again, I guess he's only down 9 workers. That's kind of okay for where you would expect this game to be. He does have stim. He does not have concussive shells. Combat shields are on the way. His army supply is comparable. Am I on Terran copium here? I may be on Terran copium. I think I'm on Terran copium. Yeah, once the charge is done and once the 5 additional gateways are complete, I think this should do it for ByuN. But I mean, we've seen miracles from ByuN before, so let's wait and find out. As we will see the observer go down, so herO can't quite track ByuN's army movements as well as he would like. But look at what herO's doing. Second observer shows up, but of course observer has been buffed, and herO now just being a little obnoxious, saying, "Hey ByuN, come on, you're scanned. You dive out of here." But here come the zealots running in. There's only one tank, no bunkers, but ByuN finds his way on the low ground. Tank goes down pretty much immediately, but ByuN brings his army together in a clump on the ramp. The zealots cannot take the engagement, and now ByuN sallies forth. He does have wow. He does have combat shields. Concussive shell's not quite done. Not that it matters all that much. And ByuN is just guarding his edges so well. He knew pretty much immediately that herO, with how this was going, was going to try to drop on the main. Marines and a medevac were already there defending. So ByuN is really doing a great job of trying to stabilize. It's only a 4-worker lead now. ByuN has this third base just about done. He's going to be able to turn it into an orbital eventually. There's an observer that goes down. Widowmines are not going to get the shot that they want, of course. But now the observer's dead, so herO has less vision of what's happening. ByuN is on 3 CC. herO, of course, getting a 4th, but there may be a world now. ByuN's +1 is just about done, where ByuN is able to, I don't know. Is there a world where ByuN runs across the map and ends this game? Probably not. I'm doing the caster thing. This game is not over. Kind of is, especially now as we're seeing herO add his additional tech. Colossus on the way eventually, certainly adding extended thermal lance, adding in immortals to deal with the heavy marauder counts. For almost as many marauders as Marines, really. The War Prism is going to try to find its way in. The Stalkers try to tag the front. That's not going to be all that successful. And the War Prism still fails to find its damage. And ByuN actually gets on top of a lot of these Stalkers. Concussive Shell is powerful, and slow zones make it harder for the Stalkers to run away. Oh man, if ByuN had killed the cooling tower right there as the Stalkers ran through the slow zone, I would have lost it. I would have been so happy. But it's not going to happen, as this War Prism is finding a nice position in dead airspace, but actually Marines can get on top of this maybe. But no, okay, it's going to be able to escape now, and here comes herO once again. He's up a base, right? He's up only 8 workers despite that, which is kind of weird, but remember that the main of the natural doesn't really have a lot mining to it anymore, and herO is building 4 probes at a time, so eventually he will start to build this significant worker lead. Oh, War Prism goes down though. Okay, that's good for ByuN. He's adding in ghosts. Zealots, though, they find their way into the natural, and again, these are STVs that ByuN can ill afford to lose. At this point, he has fought himself back into an some sort of a stable economic state, but you do have to be a little bit careful. That being said, here ByuN in the middle of the map, he has concussive shell. He's got +1, tries to dive on top of things. Colossus, they do not have extended thermal lance for another 2 seconds. This is a fight that ByuN can take, and now he takes the Xel'Naga Tower. He's aware of what's happening on the high ground. He's aware of that base. And if he can set up a nice concave here, he's up 20 army supply. He's got Vikings on the way. He has ghosts. Is there a world? 10 seconds until armor is done. And it's only 2 Colossus. If ByuN can find an angle, and I mean, that's part of the problem here. It's kind of hard to find a nice wide open angle, but ByuN looks to run through the choke. We do have sentries. ByuN has to be very careful here. EMPs blanket the army. Those sentries, one of them has lost their energy, but not the rest. Now ByuN trying to set up a concave, try to make the comeback happen. A little bit of buy off on the left side, and ByuN kites backwards. Zealots are now starting to fall, but the Colossus are getting great shots up. ByuN, though, does he have the second fight in him? The force fields seem to have forced him back for the moment, and now the supplies are starting to equalize just a little bit more, even as Stalkers fall. ByuN, I don't know how many Vikings he has. It looks like he only has 2 in this army and 4 in total. So not a great way to deal with the Colossus. Ghosts don't have a lot of EMP energy either. But there's no shield battery. The cannons have been depowered at this 4th base, so the Widowmine will fall. And ByuN might have a bit of an opportunity to sweep around through the middle of the map, take the Xel'Naga again, and maybe take a little bit bigger of a concave. But there are 3 Colossus now, and ByuN really needs these Vikings. So he's going to continue to trade. He's going to continue to, I think he just needs to lift one of his main or his natural over to the 4th. But he's going to continue to trade. He's going to try to wait for the ghosts to come out in enough number, the Vikings to come out in enough number to deal with these 3 Colossus. So 1 or 2 more rounds of Vikings. Right? He wants to go to like somewhere to 9 or 12 Vikings to really deal with the Colossus. And then maybe he can take this fight. But herO smells blood in the water. His +2 is just about done. So upgrade parity once again. Widow Mines, though, for now, they're going to force herO back. And actually, he doesn't bait the shot off as well as he would like. So it seems like herO establishing position on the map. He has his 4 bases. He's going to knock the rocks down. But ByuN sees an opportunity, jumps on top. One Colossus goes down immediately. Immortals are going to go down as well. ByuN backs up. Disruptors not really finding the value that they're looking for. Now ByuN, opportunity here. How much are you going to find here, my friend? He's going to stim on top of everything. Colossus now, they're the ones that are under threat. Disruptors are going to fall as well. But one flanking from the side does not find a shot. ByuN tags that one with concussive shells. It should now fall. Vikings on the high ground here. Only one Colossus remains. ByuN, is he going to pull the miracle out of a hat? I don't know, but if there ever was an opportunity, it is right now. Supplies are equal, but the tech is not. Colossus are down. There are no disruptors as well, and it's all about Gateway Man now. A Gateway Man where ByuN's upgrades are honestly not in the worst spot, especially with Ghost in the fray. The Zealots are going to lose half their HP. Can ByuN do this? The Vikings at this point, I mean, the scans are kind of hurting ByuN a little bit, knocking down the observers over everything else. ByuN kiting backwards. Widow Mine's not the best here, and he doesn't really have a lot of healing. His medevacs are kind of tapped, so this army's all the orange and the red, but the Colossus will now fall, and now it's all about these disruptors. Stalkers blink backwards, disruptors run forward. ByuN gets one, but his army is so in the red that even as he sees this opportunity, every stim is a death nail here for so many Marauders. So many Marines are desperately kiting backwards. The Stalkers, they blink forward here. More and more Zealots join the fray. ByuN now forced back on his side of the map for the first time in a while, and he's so damn close to what he needs. But he needs more medevacs. He needs that healing potential, and I don't know that he's going to be able to. Everything now in the orange, not in the red. EMP's blanket the army once again, and herO, he's only on 3 disruptors. Only, I think, 1 in that army, as ByuN taking his 4th base, lifted off from the main. Can herO break this? Can herO finally shut down the momentum that ByuN has been able to make over the last minute or so? ByuN has to kite backwards. Disruptor shots, I don't think they hit all that hard, actually. He lifts up in time, and now the Stalkers, they don't really want to fight that one all that well. EMP is on the army. ByuN kites backwards again. Disruptors, they get a little bit better of a damage this time. Ghost falls, but it's all on the Vikings, which don't really matter as much anymore. SCVs are going to get pulled here. ByuN, last-ditch effort, come hell or high water. Do you have a miracle in your grasp here? Disruptors, they're going to go out. Stalkers, well, they're not going to get all that much, and 18 SCVs have hit the deck. So ByuN, minor army supply lead, but he lost the rest of his economy, the last gasps of it, and now Colossus on the field once again. Vikings are gone. ByuN will not be able to afford to make them once again, and he's so close to making this happen, to pulling the miracle off, but I don't think he's quite there. herO has been able to sustain his economy. herO has been able to sustain his tech just enough, and ByuN fell just far enough behind in that early game that this long, slow slog uphill by bits and bobs and immediate damage, it hasn't been quite enough. I say that, though, never cat up ByuN, but disruptor shot. ByuN's going to target that one down. Colossus, though, that's the big deal. The Zealous just not allowing ByuN to get on top of this army. Disruptor, it gets something. I think it got a couple Marines. And any little bit of value the disruptors get at this point. That's all that matters. As long as they don't go down, they're going to have cooldowns again. They're going to have trades again. They're finding value. And if we look at this, I mean, yeah, herO has been trading cost ineffectively, 25k to 21k. But he's on 5 Nexus. You know, he has the money to support the fact that he's been trading inefficiently. And now Widow Mines are going to go off. A couple Zealots will fall, but now they're going to go in. And these Widow Mines actually are going to do a great job. Force Field is going to... Disruptor gets a pretty big shot. Force Field forces ByuN back. But, okay, more Disruptors are going to fall here. ByuN, is he going to have the chase down? Is he going to get another Disruptor on the chase? Now Colossus, ByuN tries to get on top of it, knocks one down, but you got to kite back here, ByuN. Your army is so gosh darn low, and it's all that he can do to hold on. The fact, though, that he's holding on, I feel like this has been the common story of a lot of games I've cast this weekend. The fact that ByuN has been able to hold on to this game. The fact that he is somehow not dead. He's not really alive, but he's not dead. He's still taking fights. He's still trading cost effectively. He's still making herO work so hard for this game that he has no right to be in. And now he's going to get a bunch of Stalkers. herO, you got to blink away from that. What the... There's like no tech in this army still. It's 1 Colossus, it's 2 Disruptors, it's an Immortal. Stalkers, they blink forward, but they don't really get all that much. They lose their lives. They're trying to kill these medevacs that are truly tapped out. EMP is on the army once again, and herO, he's still trying to make this happen. ByuN has not been able to rebuild any of his economy over the last minute, 2 minutes or so, after he lost those 18 SCVs on the pull. So he's only on 47. Mules are keeping him alive as well as he can, but he's only on 3 orbitals. He's not 4 or 5. He doesn't really have that mule count. that he would like. In fact, his natural is now on the way to the bottom side base past the rich minerals, so it's going to take a while to even get SCVs over there. Long distance mining for everything, as the disruptor is going to make a couple Marines fly sky high, Widow mine as well. But it's so scary. Your disruptor shot, ByuN, he gets them. The shot doesn't go off, and now he's going to still be alive here. How does he see this? How does he see what's possible? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I thought he was going to lose everything, and it's still not the best position for him. His supply now finally, for the first time in a while, falls down below what herO has. But that was such a late second decision. As herO's doing a great job with these stalkers, really trailing off the Widow mines before the Zealots run forward. And the Zealots are absolute MVPs of this game. ByuN establishes another mining base on the bottom side. It's still 3-base ByuN, but we're going to see him drop a Mule Hammer. His economy is going to start to build up once again. Widow mines are going off, and herO was not paying attention to that one, so a bit more splash damage, a bit more damage, killing off a couple stalkers. And herO now will deputize some of his army to deal with that mining base that ByuN has been able to reestablish for himself, but that does mean that ByuN can maybe jump on top of this army as the stalkers and a couple zealots. They're going to get damaged down here, but ByuN sees opportunity. Zealots run forward. They deny that. Disruptor will fall. Widow mines on top of the zealots here. Another disruptor will fall. It's now only the Colossus. Okay, gateway unit, sure, but it's now only the Colossus really once again. And ByuN, he stims forward, gets on top of the Immortal. That will now fall. The zealots unleash. They move forward once again. But every single time ByuN trades cost effectively, he needs to deal with what's happening in his natural, though. He's lost, actually hasn't really lost that many SCVs, but he needs to be able to reestablish this base. And actually, I like this decision. He's going to take the forward one. That makes a lot of sense to me because it's just a little bit closer to his other mining base. It's a little bit easier for him to hold on to. As Widow mines again get a good shot here. herO tries to get some damage on that fourth base that is already also starting to mine out. We're 22 minutes into this game. This is a 3-base Terran. No one has any upgrades. And herO's economy is only on 67 probes. What is this fourth base even doing? It's starting to mine out. It only has 4 mineral patches. ByuN, technically right now, if he's able to secure this extra base, his economy is technically outstripping what herO has, which doesn't make any sense, but that's just the world that we're living in, folks. Get used to it. So Widow mine on the high ground. herO does not see that one. ByuN sees an opportunity. Once again, dives forward. Disruptor forces him back. And ByuN, you got to see this base. That should be free, but he's going to get a couple more disruptors here. One will fall. ByuN, since the Colossus is going to fall to the Vikings here, it's got to run away. And ByuN again takes an incredible fight. He's up 30 army supply right now. He's up 40 army supply. He's going to be able to deny herO's next mining base that he sorely, desperately needs. And folks, it's 3 disruptors now between ByuN and the most improbable victory I've seen in a good long time. This base is not surviving. At the very least, if herO tries to take that, he needs some miraculous disruptor shots. And again, disruptors have been nerfed. They're not as powerful as they once were. herO's going to lose his 6th base, and ByuN now comes steamrolling forward. Disruptor is going to land okay, but is there more where that came from? 3 disruptors in herO's army right now. He's down 40 army supply. ByuN has his economy once again. Zealots are going to try to deal with it, but ByuN's rally, his army is close enough. That's why you take this damn base. So herO, do you have any sort of counterattack opportunity? Can you do anything from repositioning ByuN out of this game? Because that's a useless trade. It forced ByuN back, sure, but that was 1,000 minerals and zealots that herO does not have. Maybe this is going to be enough, but ByuN comes steaming in, and herO misuses his disruptors. He spends all of them at once, and now here ByuN gets on top. It's a recall that's forced. ByuN has the army mining. Once again, these zealots, they're going to get chased down. 500 more minerals down the drain. And what stops him now? What stops him from running across the map here? It's a Colossus. It's 2 disruptors. It's 9 stalkers. He's down. He's up double the army supply now. And folks, I know that I'm losing my this game should not have been ByuN's. And it may still not be, but we're 24 minutes in. ByuN has been on 3 orbitals this entire game. And now he's gonna find a bunch of probes. herO's never gonna get that 6th base, and there is nothing that herO can do anymore. It's zealots, sure, they're getting sniped down, maybe a massive disruptor shot, but herO loses his 5th. It's 2 Colossus, it's a dream, but it is a nightmare here. There's nothing. He can't do anything here. It's going to be one last fight. herO is going to try to make something happen. The disruptors are going to fall. ByuN gets on top of everything. Oh, no, that's a massive disruptor shot, though. ByuN doesn't even matter. It doesn't, because here comes the rest of ByuN's army. There's nothing to defend the Colossus anymore. It's 2 Colossus in a dream. ByuN, he's going to get the last base, and ByuN takes game 2. Holy shit. in the bottom left, folks, in the, I'm sorry, let's fix that, in the red. He probably should have won that game, but his opponent is literally just a god, and I don't even know. It's herO. His opponent in the upper right, still not dropping a map. He's a god. It's ByuN. Oh, I need to take a shower after that game. I got out of it. I was literally sweating. My chair was about to fall off. Like, I was on the edge of my seat. We're just not going to cast this next game. We're just going to sit here and, like, bask in how good that game number 1 was. But also, folks, it's a great reminder that given the choice between herO and ByuN, herO max packs and ByuN, Cyril and Raynor, they both picked herO and max packs. They said ByuN was going to be the last picked player in this entire tournament. I'm talking about the Africa Champions Cup, by the way. Because ByuN's online play has been nothing short of the best player in the world. And I think looking at that last game in particular, that tells us exactly why. ByuN was so far. Yes, he did get some good drops from the medevacs early on. It killed 20 probes. But he had nothing. herO was killing him. herO was massively up in bases. He was up 20, 30 probes the entire game. ByuN could barely get a third. He was under pressure the entire time. And somehow ByuN made the comeback happen. Like, it's such a shame that ByuN offline is not at this level. I don't know what it is, but for whatever reason, ByuN, he was top 12 at Atlanta. He has psychosomatic issues with his wrists in the GSL studio. What I would love for this level of ByuN to show up at Katowice, because I don't know what I would do. lose my metaphorical crap probably. Never sleep. That's true. PGV in the house. I mean, his running in Hoenn Cup was good, but look at that last game. Look at the games that ByuN has played in online play over the last 6 months, and tell me that offline ByuN, he played in Atlanta at Hoenn Cup, whatever it is. Tell me that is on the same level as ByuN in online play. He's just gonna dive in. Reapers and Hellions, they're gonna kill 5 probes, and I don't even think the Reapers don't even die. Okay, fine. Be that way, ByuN. You're absolutely right. I'm buzzing. That was one of the best games I've ever seen. Of course I'm excited. And we theoretically have 5 more games in this series, although the way ByuN is playing, you have to kill him and kill him and kill him again. And then maybe he's still gonna win. I don't know. And there we got the kitchen sink type of drop coming in from ByuN. This is an idea that he's been messing around with as of late, where he builds a couple units and cuts corners and gets an early medevac. As the Reapers tries to dive in, is gonna get the probe. It does. Okay, well done. That's 6 dead workers from ByuN. And instead of doing a Widowmine drop, he's got like a couple Marines in a Widowmine, and it's a little bit harder to dislodge. So now into the natural, he's going to go. Probes are going to get pulled, but there are Marines here. So wherever the probes will go, they're forced into where the Widowmine wants to be. Widowmine, though, will go down, and ByuN is going to be forced out. Does not want to lose too much to the Stalkers. And by the way, folks, this is a Colossus opening coming out of herO as medevac gets damaged, but I think that's a safe spot. Yeah, it is. So this is a robo opening coming out of ByuN, or out of herO in this game number 3. And I think I said, oh, it's a Colossus opening. But it's not. It's going to be Immortals. There's a Warp Prism on the way. Oh, okay. ByuN changes, or herO changes his mind. I thought the Warp Prism had completed, but instead, no. It's going to be Immortals on the way. Is ByuN actually getting ready to move out here? 5 minutes in. He does not have stim. It's a hero marine type of push, and stalkers are going to find it immediately. The tanks are not going to be able to siege up in time, and any damage that hero gets done outside of his own base is damage that it makes it much easier for him to hold. So the immortals are on the way. First one done, second one now getting started. Stalkers kill off a couple marines. This medevac drop is portions of ByuN's army supplies. What is killing probes? Liberator in the main base. Okay, 5 more workers go down. So herO has lost 11 probes at 6 minutes into this game, 5:44 into this game, and ByuN's trying to make a push happen. But for right now, herO is actually running onto the other side of the map. Stalkers are going to try to deal with this, and ByuN targets fires probes, so 7 more workers go down. But herO on the other side of the map, these stalkers are difficult for ByuN to deal with. The marines are all falling, the tanks are all falling, and wait a minute, is herO just about to win this game? I don't think so, but the Raven gets under fire, does not go down, and now we're seeing the auto turret nerf in its full effect. And auto turret didn't last all that long at all, and the immortal goes forward, tries to kill the tank. Tank stays alive. Immortal is that's a bit of a antsy there, a ornery there, immortal, and that will go down. That's really not what you're looking for. Meanwhile, 10 more worker. Okay, I guess it's 18. I guess this is just the kind of the continuation of worker over worker going down. So hero's down 10 workers despite having a third base, but he's up. Not necessarily an army supply, but pretty well in tech. And with the Warp Prism, he can theoretically just bulldog on top of the tank and try to break that down. Whether he's going to do that is a different story, but Warping and Zealots here tells us that he does want to go for that break. So instead of lifting things up and dropping them on the tank, he's going to Immortal. Okay, here's going to have to wait a second. He wants that Hardened Shield to get ready once again. But the tank's going to unsiege, so this is a perfect opportunity. Immortal in the Warp Prism is going to try to get on top. The bunker gets busted. Tank's going to go down here as well. Widowmine is going to go center mass, but actually, here we go. herO saves a good majority of his army, or the good majority of us get hit by that Widowmine in the Warp Prism. So now 2 Widowmines are dead. And ByuN does not have a lot of tech here. +1 is on the way, but there's no stim. In fact, stim is a pretty far a ways off. So the SCVs, they have to get pulled. ByuN is going to be able to close out the natural for the time being, but herO is starting to ameliorate the damage that he took. 7 SCVs go down. Still, Raven auto turret again nerfed, not as strong as it once was. It's a little bit less long lasting, more damage or less HP, less armor, but still gets a couple more probes. Oh, this is nice, though. herO finds the third base and is going to be able to deny that one for a time. And, hey, that's a good start. Raven looking for a little bit more auto turret harass. And, again, the fact that ByuN has killed as many workers as he has over the course of this game, it's 22 dead probes. And still hero's up 5. But in part, that's because herO was able to see an opportunity, to see a bit of a timing window where he was going to be able to run across the map and kill ByuN before ByuN's tech was really ready. So now the game stabilizes a little bit. I don't know what to do with myself. I've been freaking out, going absolute crazy for like the last 10 minutes of game 2. And it's been a pretty active early game. And now I'm like, well, what do I even say? What do I talk about? We can talk about the DTs that are moving in as this drop's going to get found out here. Blink is not done, by the way. In fact, regular Blink and DT Blink is going to get done right around the same time, which is very, very fun. We see DT Blink in the late game quite often, but not right around right now. But this Dark Templar is going to get some total of nothing done. Dark Templar in the main base is there, but hey, Scan is not going to kill it, though, because there's the Warp Prism, and that's going to get saved. The fact that ByuN has not built a Raven, excuse me, has not built a Viking, just ward the Warp Prism away is somewhat surprising, but I guess you do want to build medevacs, and you want to make maximum possible use of all the... of everything you have. But ByuN, Widowmine drop finally finds its way in, and herO is just a victim to Widowmine drops in this game. 10 probes go down, and there are, by the way, still more Widowmines in that medevac. And the natural looks like that went down. Widowmine, I don't even see it. There it is. It's gonna get 2 probes and a stalker. You know what? For herO dealing with that one, he actually didn't handle that one all that well. And now ByuN, he's up 30 army supply. He's got a pretty powerful army here. It's +1 stim combat shields, concussive shells also done. And, well, it's just a bunch of, it's Mr. Gateway Man, but Mr. Gateway Man just lost a lot of his economy. So ByuN scans the high ground, knocks the rocks down. That will allow him to establish a bit better of a concave as Widowmines burrow around that. And anti-armor missile goes down, so -2 armor on half the army. Force field is actually working against herO here as ByuN kites behind it. And now a lot of the Zealots have gone down. We're going to see an Immortal get tagged up. It's slowed down. And ByuN's up pretty significantly in army supply right now, but the Zealots on the right side, they're going to force ByuN backwards for the moment. Another Archon will fall. The Zealots, they continue to go down here as well, and ByuN is going to be able to close this out in really devastating fashion. A third and second Immortal, they fall here as well, and this army from herO, it has Blink, sure, but it's just evaporating. 75 army supply to 14, and, well, ByuN is just looking even more dominant. Thing to point out, though, this army is so red that the Stalkers are going to kill all of it. 75 army supply to 14 for just a second, and now it's getting closer. Still maybe not the best position for herO, but not quite as bad as the supplies made it think. Even still, it's a good position for ByuN. Oh, I didn't even see that. That's never an exit. That's awesome. Apparently, herO used his warp prism because the pylon went down to clutch power the super battery after the pylon went down to make sure that he stayed alive. I didn't see that. That's actually super clutch. Oh, there's a second pylon. Okay, that makes more sense. We don't really see warp prisms use that whatsoever, but I was about to be very impressed if that was the case. It wouldn't surprise me. herO is a brilliant player. But now herO trying to maybe unlock DTs a little bit more on the map. That's just going to be a dead Dark Templar. ByuN sees it. He's got the eyes of a hawk and the fingers of a cat. The fingers of a human, actually. No one else has opposable thumbs. But now, well, a couple Stalkers will fall, and ByuN trying to establish position on the map here. It looks like DTs are going to run into the third base, but folks, there's a missile turret, so ByuN shouldn't lose too many SCVs there. A couple will go down. But ByuN now opening up all rocks. He's really trying to establish this pushing position. The reason he did not win the game in that previous push was, well, Ancient Cistern is a big map. It's a 37-second rush distance ramp to ramp. And that is a map where, I mean, it's just hard to get your army across. So ByuN actually sees an opportunity here. Widowmines go big on the Zealots. Shield battery overcharge goes down. Widowmine on the backside forcing the Stalkers away. And now ByuN EMPs on the Stalkers here. This seems like an army that he can just cut apart piecemeal. The Stalkers on the backside, their blink is not ready, so he's going to be able to get on top of those. But the Zealots will be able to force him back for now. And actually much better force fields than what we saw earlier on. But as ByuN gets around them, the army does have to run back. And ByuN still, he's up 40 army supply. This is a bit better of a position for herO than it was right when he did lose so much of his army. And that Widowmine on the backside of his army, that may be problematic. That smells like some dead... Oh, no, it's center mass. Oh, no, it's even more. The wine field. ByuN just left it there. herO was not aware. And now herO's going to lose his fourth base. There's no saving it at this point. Sentries go down. Zealots go down. Everything goes down. And now it's up to herO's run by to try to find some equalizing damage. But more Widowmines are made. And ByuN is on top of things once again, chasing some level of this army down, and the probes should go down. It should die after this. ByuN's trying to find them, and I think he has, yeah, in the bottom right side. So the Zealots, they don't get much of anything. herO's economy shattered once again. These Widowmines are still not dealt with because there's one observer on the map. Where is that observer? Oh, scan. Oh, no. No observers on the map anymore. ByuN scans it. DT falls. Observer goes down here as well. And ByuN is just crushing this. He won the game he shouldn't have won, and now he's crushing herO in a drastic fashion. What's that red blob on the bottom right? Is the probes? Yeah, some of the probes were able to escape. ByuN in this series has made the Atlanta champion, the GSL Season 2 champion, the GSL Season 3 round of 4 player, like the best, arguably the best player of this last year, certainly the best Protoss of this last year, look like he is just a level below him. So herO's going for he's going for a counterattack. He's going for a base trade. That's the only thing he can do. Big Widowmine shot on the Zealots that go forward, and ByuN gets another base. It's 2 Nexi versus ByuN on 4 bases here, setting up a pretty nice concave and dealing with the reinforcements as they arrive. Disruptor shots. Disruptors are always a comeback opportunity, but they're going to have to go so massive here, and ByuN setting up a concave. Hey, force fields on the left side. They're going to do something. But now ByuN gets on top of the disruptors, not allowing them to get the shot they want, and that was the one comeback that herO had. ByuN now comes steaming forward with everything. He's going to eat as many Colossus shots as he wants. Doesn't matter. herO's below 100 supply. herO taps out. And ByuN is now up 3-0, and he's making herO look like he's in Diamond or something. Like, ByuN looks multiple levels above herO in this series. And that is insane, considering how good herO has been this year. And the bottom right, folks, in the red, he's down here. Is he out? We're going to have to find out. For Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it's herO. His opponent in the upper left in the blue, winning the unwinnable game in game 2, and the other one's looking on another level, multiple other levels. It's ByuN. And I know I should be talking, I don't know, but the last game, the series, I just can't get over game 2. Even still, it was just game of the year. Awesome. It is January 15th, 2023. And that game versus that ByuN game 2 may be the best game of the year. May end up being the best game of the year. Now, of course, Katowice is in a month. And offline play, offline World Championship play, it brings players to another level. So we may see better games than that, or we may see games to that level. But certainly if we were to constrain our measures, our metrics to only online games that get played in 2023, it's got to be up there. And I don't know what it is. There's a reason that my favorite matchup in EPT Korea is ByuN versus Classic. Because in that setup, ByuN will go and casters are going to be on site for the A stream is going to be on site for Katowice, Inflatable Wolfie. Side streams are not going to be, I don't think. But anyway, yeah, so there's a reason that I think that ByuN versus Classic tends to be my favorite matchup in EPT Korea. Because Classic is very good at getting ahead, and then he doesn't know how to close the games out, and ByuN is probably the best Terran player in the world at making the comebacks here in these TVPs. Although shout out to herO's comeback versus Zest in GSL Season 1 of 2022. That was also special. But herO we haven't really seen him do anything over the last half of the year. I don't know where he's been. He barely played in the WTL. So, unfortunately, unless we see some miracle, we will not see herO at Katowice. We will not see him make a miracle run in the round of 32 and knock out every single Protoss and give the community an excuse to complain that Protoss is underpowered for another year. Because remember, of course, last year, herO, as a couple of depths are going to try to shade in, prevent ByuN from getting the damage he wants, even before he makes it happen. So herO has the bright idea of maybe you don't want to let ByuN get on the map. Maybe you want to punish him instead. So Adepts are going to kill off a couple Marines. They're going to get the Hellion. They're going to get a couple SCVs. And this is a far smoother start for herO than in the first game. Although this Adept will fall, so not quite as clean. And the Reaper fails to get the same level of damage that it did in the previous game. All right, so Oracle, though, is going to try to dive in, going to get some Marines. And, well, okay, how many Marines did we have at the start? It seems like there were enough. So not enough anti-air here anymore. The SCVs have to get pulled away. Marine is going to go Terror Dancing with Death. And I feel like he could have gotten the Marine, but played it very close to the chest. The Oracle is able to get out, 10 HP. So that's like, what, 2 more Marine shots? 1, 2 more, 3 more Marine shots? Something like that. But now the second Oracle will arrive, and there's just not a lot of anti-air here anymore. The second Oracle benefiting from what his friend did, and now more workers will start to fall. So make it 3, make it still 3, I guess. Apparently I can't count, and that is 5 total dead SCVs over the course of this game. Again, this game from herO is a lot cleaner. It's a lot more damage he's getting early on. It's just a lot happier if you are the herO player. Let's see if ByuN can take advantage. Those Widowmines this series have been so good, but this time ByuN is well in position. He's got Phoenix, he's got Oracles. This medevac is not going to find its way onto an unloaded position, but it is a good scout. He will be aware that, yes, there are 3 Oracles on the map right now, and that means that, well, Oracles now, they one-tap SCVs, which is really why I don't tend to like Oracle play against Protoss or against Terran any more than one, because yeah, it takes 3 seconds of damage distance. Yes, you can go and you can get oracles and you can get one for revelation, and that's nice. But it's just hard to kill workers. And well, one oracle will fall here. 5 more STVs have gone down, and the Phoenix is actually doing a good job of warding the Viking away. But ByuN still targets that one down. Oracles into the natural, and well, they're gonna kill a couple more workers. I think a mule went down as well. So what are we at? Like 10 dead workers, and it should be a dead SCV. But oh, okay. Hero's got an herO has an army on the map too. I don't know that he's doing much with it. Maybe it's just posturing. But I thought he was going to try to break ByuN while his army was in the main base. Ooh, and Adept finds his way in the main, and that's a great scout. It's going to see that there's a Banshee, and theoretically that there's no cloak, because there's no tech lab. And you don't tend to get cloak. Well, you actually, no, you do tend to get cloak against Protoss, but not going to matter here. herO is already on his third base. He's setting up 15 workers between the damage that he got done and the fact that he just had a pretty quick third base and was able to chrono probes out. So herO does not have blink. He's going immediately into charge, and this is a really interesting approach, because normally if you go for Phoenix Plate, you get blink very late. You go Phoenix into charge, delayed blink. But we haven't really seen herO move into Phoenix Plate. He's 2 Phoenix, right? That's something, but he got heavy Oracle. He got heavy Oracles, and he bought a bunch of Oracles, and that really got him some damage. Sure, it allows him to see where the army is, but it's not a lot. It doesn't allow him to fill the same role that he will be missing by having a bunch of Stalkers or a bunch of Phoenix. You don't have that anti-drop. You don't have the mobility. You don't have as much anti-air either to deal with, say, Banshees or Medivacs or things like that. So instead, well, herO is going for a very quick storm. His charge is just about done. He's got a bunch of zealots, adding more gateways as he's on 5. 6th one is just about done. And by the time that ByuN hits across, yeah, he's up 16 army supply. Storm will be complete. And I don't think we are going to see a ByuN that is going to be able to break through this position. He's got to get the rocks down. We're going to see some stasis traps, which is fantastic. I mean, it's another thing that ByuN has to deal with that delays him, that buys time for Storm to complete, which is, by the way, probably about 15 seconds out of this point. So here comes ByuN. Massive stasis trap on the left. ByuN doesn't have an army for another 30 seconds, and he just taps out immediately. There we go. herO, he takes the first game of the series. Let's see if that's the start of a comeback. But for now, herO 1-3. In the bottom right, folks, in the red, he is down 2 maps, but he did win map 4 when his back was on the line. Let's see if he can do it again. He is herO. His opponent, this is the first map he's dropped this entire tournament. It's ByuN. It seems like herO, we got something spicy on the mind. Don't know exactly what it's gonna be. This is gonna be. I do know what this is gonna be. I think this is gonna be the classic build where you build your first gate at home, second gateway goes on the map, and you start to pressure with a bunch of stalkers. Well, yeah, there we go. Okay, gateway is on the map. We should see the cyber core go down as the first gateway completes, and this can be powerful. But the problem is for herO now, this is very far away from ByuN's base. And that does make life a little bit unfortunate. So maybe the rally is not going to work quite as well for now, though. Does ByuN opt to build his command center on the low ground? That's what you're looking for, right? Eventually, you want to build that command. herO wants ByuN to build the command center on the low ground, and that will then allow him to cancel the command center, force him to rebuild it, and build a tremendous macro lead. Whether this accomplishes it or not, I don't know. But for now, Zealot getting chronoed. That's going to be the first unit really out of the gateway back at home. It's going to run across the map, and theoretically, by the time that gateway, or by the time that Zealot runs across, the Stalker will be ready from the forward gateway, and then you start to have this 1 to 2 Stalker, 2 Zealot. It starts to snowball. Pretty powerful pressure. But ByuN, he's not playing into this. He sees the Zealot too. He's absolutely not going to play into this now. More Reapers on the way, but he's going Barracks Factory Command Center, which is a lot of stuff in the early game. It's effective. It was a build that you first saw in TVT. Barracks Double Factory, or Barracks Double Gas Factory. You first saw it in TVT. It was very powerful, and then it started to expand. Players like ByuN in particular have started to play around with this in TVP. And it is a perfect build option against what herO has done. You get tech units early. You don't build your command center on the low ground, so that's not going to get canceled. And ByuN here buying time for the Reapers. He's going to get his bunker up. Reapers are going to be in it for the moment. And there we go. So herO, it's going to be, maybe when he gets more Stalkers, he's going to be able to break this. But for now, Cyclones are going to pop out. But herO really does not deal with Cyclones all that well at all. As KD8 charges, Marines are going to do as much damage as they can. And bear in mind, it's not a ton, but it is enough to delay herO. It denies his ability to do tremendous amounts of damage. It's actually ByuN top hats the depot right in herO's face. Bit awkward there, and it looks like this supply depot may fall. But no, more SCVs are going to get pulled. I like the use of the Adepts, though. High ground vision, that's what you got them there. That's what you get them for. And it does mean, of course, that it's going to be a little bit... You can maybe knock that down, but Cyclone gets the lock on. Stalker goes low, but doesn't go down. In fact, I think we saw an Adept. No, okay, the Zealot finally went down. There's a bunker. Marines are in the bunker. There's a Cyclone here. It's going to get mass repaired. And ByuN is happy as a clam. He didn't lose all that. He had to build a bunker. You can salvage that one. herO delayed his command center massively, and ByuN is just ahead. Like, there is not a lot to say about it at this point. This was very much of course you have to execute, but this was almost a build order counter that ByuN was able to roll. He rolled the dice. He rolled a nat 20 on his build order for this game, or specifically he I don't know, ByuN rolled a 10 and ByuN rolled a 17 and herO crit failed. Whatever it is, D&D might be a bit of an awkward metaphor right now anyways, considering what's happening with their OGL. But regardless, ByuN rolled the dice and it worked out very well for him. It did not work out all that well for herO. So Cyclone tries to run in. I don't know what the Cyclone is doing, but it's going to get an Adept. And with no blink, it should be able to escape. So hey, ByuN knows better than I do. That's kind of fun. But I do like, oh, maybe not. He's gonna find the gateway though, even as he does lose the Cyclone. And ByuN now behind this, he's got a tank on the high ground. He actually seems like it's gonna go on the low ground, but the addition of Banshees is fun. We saw him do that in the previous game for really minimal avail, but this time he's getting Cloak, and the hero's not gonna have detection for quite a while. His Robo is now on the way. Cloak is just about done, and the Banshee's halfway across the map. So herO, does he have a shield battery in the main? No, he does not. herO's going to lose a lot of probes right now. herO, I think, herO is already behind, and I think he's about to get put in a pretty all-in position. Now, he may handle this tremendously well, and I may end up not knowing what I'm talking about, but I think that he's going to lose about, I don't know, 10, 12 probes. And yeah, this is going to be dicey. Shield batteries go down now, and it is only one Banshee, not two, so that does slow things down just a little bit, but the Robo's not even done. There's just no possible detection on the map. So yeah, by the time... Okay, so shield battery is going to complete. And actually, ByuN's not going to kill that many workers, but a sentry is absolutely a valuable target. That's a lot of gas here. And now, well, Banshee goes back onto the high ground. Where's our second Banshee? Okay, it's with the army. So seems like ByuN, instead of getting a lot of workers, I thought he was going to end the game on that one. He's just going to bring his army together. And this push coming in from ByuN right now is double the army supply. He's sitting on 2 tanks, 2 Banshees. It's going to be scary, but it seems like that's not actually what ByuN wants to go for. I've been, I guess, egg on my face. I thought I was going to say, wow, ByuN just has this game in the bag. His Banshees are really powerful, but not just yet. Calling it just a little bit too early. But okay, here comes the pressure in earnest. 3 Banshees, a bunch of tanks, some Marines. Does herO have what it takes to defend? There is an observer, but ByuN is going to try to keep the Banshees away from that as long as possible, maybe target it down. He would love a Cyclone for this, but he did lose that one early. And now ByuN sieges up outside of the third base of herO. If herO can keep this alive, he's going to be kind of happy with himself. But the Banshees into the main base here. They one-tap workers through the shield battery. herO only has enough right now to defend one position. So do you defend your mineral line? Do you defend your third base? And it seems like the third base or the mineral line is going to be the answer for herO right now, but I fear that he's just going to lose both Banshees. They should cloak themselves up. Again, there's no blink, so the Banshees, they can't really get jumped upon. We got one will go down, but the Marines, they are going to move forward. There's now going to be a recall, and that means the Banshees are going to dive back in. Well, actually, hero's handling this fairly well for right now. ByuN does have his third base on the way. Banshees, they're getting more damage here. 7, 8 workers are going to go down. ByuN actually Okay, the observer's there. Never mind. Cloak doesn't really matter. But the shield batteries continues to take damage. The 1-4 tank putting damage on this hatchery, really, or not hatchery, excuse me, on this Nexus, putting a timer on how long herO can exist. But it looks like ByuN's actually going to pull back for a time. He has gotten the damage he wants. He is almost equal on workers. His third base is on the way. Stim is not done just yet. +1 not done just yet, but he got a lot of damage to herO, and these Banshees just kind of sitting behind herO's main for the moment. Yep, there we go. He's going to dive in once again. The moment that herO looks to move out on the map, it's going to be more dead workers. So herO does a good job though. He targets down the low Banshee. That does mean that with shield batteries, the Banshee's not going to be quite as powerful. So he's going to have to run away. Maybe ByuN adds this into this army. Maybe he gets damage on a third base or a fourth base later on if herO forgets shield batteries in a mineral line, something like that. But it seems like this game will go on just a little bit longer. I'm still terrified of that army for ByuN. But for the moment, at least he's not killing herO, and I guess that's something herO can be happy about. But as I say that, ByuN's timings, they're all rounding out. No combat shield just yet. It'll probably be done by the time he runs onto the other side of the map. Stalkers get a good trade there. Kill off a medevac. And ByuN has +1 though, right? Concussive shells are almost done. He's trying to hit. It's effectively a 3-1-1 type of timing. It's just much later because of how the build went. And somehow this Warp Prism gets its way in the main base, takes a lot of damage, but Zealots will warp in. They don't have charge though. Slow Zealots are just about useless. A couple SCVs maybe will go down. The Warp Prism stays alive for now, just barely. And the Marines are going to try to chase this one down. ByuN's army on the map though. This is what we got to be paying attention to. Targets down the low Stalker to start. And with 3 tanks, a bunch of +1 bio, combat shields, that's the one thing we're waiting for. Concussive shells is certainly done. And ByuN, what does he have? The Banshee into the natural is starting to kill probes here as well. So herO, he's put in pressure on multiple fronts, and ByuN, he senses a victory. The third base is just going to get tapped down. Shield batteries, who cares? Shield battery overcharge, who cares? Now herO's on 2 base. The Stalkers, they blink on top of the tanks though, and that leaves these Immortals undefended. So they are immortal no more, distinctly immortal instead. And yes, the tanks have fallen, but the big tech backbone that herO has needed in this game to try to make sure he can stay alive, that he can make sure he can trade evenly, it will go down. ByuN sacrifices his army on the ultra of killing probes, just wants to make sure he gets the medevacs out. And the Stalkers, they're doing a good job of punishing that. But the shield batteries, they have very little energy anymore. There's no shield battery overcharge. And unless herO can win the game right now, this is going to be a ByuN victory here in the Red Cross Cup. I don't know what he can do anymore. So what miracles do you have, herO? 61 supply to 120. Is it going to be Storm? Is that? You know, that's not even the miracle. ByuN plays an incredible series. Again, you want one game of the series, watch game 2. And he takes the Red Cross Cup 4-1.